Did you get something for Christmas that you are super excited about? I did, and I cannot wait to show you what it is. Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for coming back by. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and welcome. If you watched my gift ideas video before Christmas, it was a Costco gift ideas shopping video. And there was an item in there that I gave a pretty big hint, and I just wanted to report to you that got it. This is what I wanted for Christmas. It is a instant gourmet Dutch oven, and it's heavy, so that's why I'm kind of standing awkwardly. But I want to unbox it for you, and I want to show you what it looks like, and then I'm gonna cook with it. So that's what today's video is. This is from the makers of Instant Pot. And let me know in the comments below, do you use an Instant Pot? Because I actually have one, but I don't know. I've just never been real excited about the way the food tastes when I use the Instant Pot. I feel like with Crockpot cooking, everything has such a long time to all the flavors to kind of marry, or whatever you want to call it. And so that's why I like the Crockpot. And I feel like the Instant Pot doesn't really do that. But anyway, I wanted to show you, funny enough, I got a tea towel. And it says, 1 minute you're young and wild, the next minute you're excited about air fryers and crock pots. And I opened this and I thought, oh, that's so funny. And then I opened this and it was a crock pot and I was excited. But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. So, this is a gourmet Dutch oven. And it comes with Discover Amazing. Let's see what that is. Feels like maybe a cookbook or something, maybe. Let's see. This is the user manual and a recipe book. So that's kind of cool. All right, I may have to do some videos just on this cookbook. But it also comes with 3 accessories. These are, they're closed. A spatula, a silicone spatula, and tongs with the silicone edge. So that's nice. Lid. It's the, what do you call it? Cast iron, yeah. It's coated, so that's cool, but it's nice. That's nice. We have the pot itself. This is very pretty. I love this color. Okay, cool. So, here is the cast iron pot. Very nice. Let's see, what size is it? I don't even know. I didn't care because I really wanted it. It is, I'm sure it says somewhere on here what size it is. Probably a 6-quart maybe, but anyway, it comes with this silicone trivet, which is very cool. And it comes with the silicone handles for the pot itself. All right, and then here is the cooking portion. That's very pretty. So sleek looking. All right, let's get this bad boy put together. All right, so this is technically the silicone spatula, which it's actually really nicely made. It's very sturdy. And this is the nylon turner. So, and made really well as well. This silicone mat I mean, it's not rocket science, but if you want to take your pot out of the crock pot and set it on a table or whatever, you can just set it on the mat. So that's pretty cool. So here it is in there, and I'm gonna go ahead. These are for obviously when you want to take it out of the crock pot itself. Just lift it up like that. Very cool. Then the lid. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now let's plug it up. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to cook for dinner in my brand new crock pot. I'm also going to wash this real quick. All right, so for dinner, I had a small roast in the freezer. So I'm gonna use it. I had some potatoes from the holidays that I need to use up, and I also had some of these carrot chips that I need to use up. So yeah, all of this, I don't have to go to the store. I'm gonna put some au jus gravy in it, and then I have this seasoning, which is actually really good. I think I got it from Sam's or Costco. Roasted garlic and herb, use that. Use some salt and pepper. So let's get the potatoes cut up and get this into my new beautiful crock pot. Oh yeah, listen to this. All right, I have my potatoes washed. So now I am just going to, I'm leaving the skin on just to make it easier on myself. So I'm just gonna slice these up for the crock pot. So with this crock pot, you can sear or saute, slow cook, braise, and then it says manual mode, and then it says ready. Now we got to figure out how to do the temp, time, and all that good stuff. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add the roast. Next, I'm gonna add the potatoes, and I like my potatoes really, really tender, so that's why I'm putting them in now. Some people don't put them in till halfway through the cooking time, but like I said, I like mine really tender. I'm not gonna add the carrots right now just because they are sliced pretty thin. So these I will add halfway through, but I'm just gonna add my pepper, a little bit of salt, my garlic, roasted garlic and herb seasoning, and I'm gonna add quite a bit of this because this really does really taste good. The roast is frozen, so some of the juice from that will come out. So I'm just gonna use 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna mix in the packet of au jus. Stir it up real good. This hot, and I think I'm also going to add a little bit of Tony Chachere's just for a little extra something. Doesn't take much. All right, so now let's get this started. All right, so now let's see if I can get this ready. I must have just pressed some. Okay, press slow cooker, then press temp time, and the temp starts blinking. So now I can increase the time using the knob, and then press start. All right, very cool. We'll see how it goes. I just added the carrots, and I will say one little flaw in the system is that handle. Yeah, it should be like silicone or something, because it's not too terribly hot, but yeah, needs some kind of like silicone or not metal piece. But anyway, gonna let it finish cooking. Now I just need to get some of this juice into a bowl, mix it with some flour to make a slurry so that it will kind of thicken up and make somewhat of a gravy. If you're not already subscribed to my channel and you like cooking videos, then I would love it if you would consider clicking that subscribe button, click the bell button so you don't miss any of my videos, and leave me a comment below and tell me where you're from. All right, I've made my vegetable soup before. Normally, I make it on the stove, but there's also been a couple times that I've used it in the crock pot, but I'm not as big of a fan of it that way, just because I like to brown my meat. So if I'm gonna do it in one pot, I'm just gonna do it on the stove. However, this beaut that I got for Christmas has the, there we go, has the sear and saute mode. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm gonna sear my stew meat or saute it in this crock pot, and then I'm gonna cook it all day and let this yummy vegetable soup come together for dinner tonight. Okay, to use the sear saute method, I'm going to press sear saute, and then I'm going to press temp time. Now I want, now the minimum time that you can sear and saute is 10 minutes, so I don't think it'll take that long. So I'm just gonna press start, and now it's gonna start preheating. Once it's preheated, it's gonna say add food, and that's when I'm gonna add the meat, the stew meat in here to start browning, and then I'm gonna add the flour. All right, I sort of use different, well, I don't use different ingredients every time I make this vegetable soup, but this time I am trying it. Usually I use all canned vegetables, but this time I'm gonna try it with frozen for most of them, just because if I decide to freeze whatever we have left, sometimes the vegetables seem mushy when I thaw it out. So I was told if you use frozen, it doesn't really do that. So I'm using the stew meat, and then the vegetables I'm using are black-eyed peas, carrots, corn, green beans. I'm also gonna use lima beans that are in the can because I couldn't find frozen ones, and diced potatoes. I could dice my own, but yeah, I didn't feel like it. So then I'm gonna add some beef base, some crushed tomatoes, and a can of Rotel. I'm gonna use this hearty beef stew packet. I usually add my own seasonings, but I'm just gonna do that. And then some pepper. All right, here you see it says sear sauteing. So now I'm gonna add my meat. So the minimum temp that you can have it on saute is 400 degrees. So this definitely did not take 10 minutes to brown. It's a beautiful brown though, actually. So it cooked it really well. It sauteed it really well. So at this point, I turned it off because I wanted it to stop like cooking at such a high temperature. So now I added a little pepper. I'm gonna actually add a little of the packet of seasoning, just to kind of let it season. I should have done it earlier, but I didn't. So add that in there, and I'm also, while it's still cooking just a tad, it's still a little warm, I'm gonna add a little bit of flour, and that's gonna help the soup, because I don't like my vegetable soup to be like super thick. So the flour is gonna kind of help thicken that up. So I add it to the meat, that way it's easier to control. You don't have to make a slurry or anything like that. All right, it is stopped cooking. So at this point, I am going to start adding my vegetables. I'm gonna add the rotel first, and I'm gonna add it with the juices. And I actually turned it back on just because I want to let this cook together for a minute. But I am still learning with this thing. So we can learn together. We can walk through this process together. If you have not seen these, check it out. I will see if I can, I'm sure I can find them on Amazon. I'll put a link below. But so far, I really like it. So the more I learn about it and the more I, practice with it, it'll get a little easier to navigate. Now I'm gonna start with about a half a can. I can never find the small cans of these crushed tomatoes. But anyway, so I'm just gonna add about half a can for right now. Stir that up and let it cook for a minute. I'm also gonna add the rest of this packet of seasoning while it's thick. I find that when you're using the seasonings like this, or honestly when you're using any seasoning, it combines better when you do it when the whatever it is you're cooking is thicker, because when you do it when it's more soupy, it tends to clump more. So I try to add it when it's still kind of thick. See, that was very easy, and you don't see any little chunks. All right, I've turned the saute back off. So now I'm gonna add about 4 cups of water. Mix that up. And to the water, instead of using like beef broth or whatever, I'm using the beef base. Once this starts heating up, that beef base will dissolve in there, and then I'll start adding my vegetables. Now at this point, I'm going to press slow cook, and I'll probably just leave it at 6 hours and then press start. And now it's slow cooking. So now I'm gonna add my vegetables and put the lid on it and let it cook. I'm gonna add my can of lima beans, my can of diced potatoes. I'm gonna add some corn, what would probably be the equivalent of a can. I'll just add the rest. Some black-eyed peas, some green beans, and my carrots. And I have another bag. I'm gonna add more. A few more carrots. And I did forget to mention that I like to use a couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce. That was a big old splash. And I also use a bay leaf. So let me get this stirred up. I will add the bay leaf. And then throughout the cooking process, if I see I want it to be a little more soupy, I'll add more water. If I want it to be a little thicker, I will add some flour to that extra crushed tomatoes, stir it up, and add that in here to thicken it. Add that bay leaf. And put the lid on. All right, dinner's cooking. Thanks so much for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment below if you have one of these. Also, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.